Hello, world. This is your old friend, singer-songwriter Emilia Cataldo, also known as Nehadar, and I have released an album called Power Starfish on September 2nd, and I would like to be a person that was doing shows and, I don't know, going on podcasts and being able to afford promotion, but I'm not, so I have to do something to try and convince you to listen to it. I've been making a number of videos on YouTube with content that I find on Internet Archive, but I thought maybe I'd do a song by song explanation or walk through this album vocally. I may also do a Bandcamp listening party, but this album came out September 2nd. My son Benny did the artwork, and it's one of the most thematically rooted albums that I have. Song titles appear in other song lyrics, and there's just I'm just sort of like ruminating around the same ideas that are generally rooted in non-violent conflict resolution, philosophy, moderation, stuff that I'm so kind of obsessed with for myself and my background, and also just something that I think that the world is so desperately in need of. So like in a perfect world, I think that I would be heard and understood as protest music and social criticism, as I was before when I did songs like Thoughts and Prayers and was very obviously vocally on one side of the political spectrum. But I've come to a place where I feel the divisiveness between the two political poles makes it irresponsible to just stay on one side, lobbing criticism at the other side. I've long felt that peace only comes when we hold the extremists on our side of the fence to account, because if I'm on one side, if I'm on, let's say, the left, then for me to just obsess over extremists on the right is just postulating for war. Whereas if I'm focusing on the extremists on the left, that makes me trying to have dialogue with people that I have things in common with, hopefully, if everything hasn't completely fallen apart, which is how it's starting to feel to me, that like all these concepts of one side or another side, like I'm just on a non-violence side, and and that things have just become very tricky in navigating what nonviolence looks like in a time of so much propaganda and so much posturing that everyone does about being an expert at every issue that comes up in the news. And of course, the issues that come up in the news are designed to create tension, and so it's just like a pressure cooker. And so everything that I'm doing is kind of trying to de-escalate, but at the same time I recognize that it's almost impossible while the temperature is going up and you have that boiling pot kind of thing happening to jump in and say, hey, calm down. So in that sense, I recognize the futility in what I'm doing. I just wish that I could find a more like-minded people like me, instead of feeling like I'm so often trying to justify myself to people on the left. No, I haven't become the other side. I don't look at the world that way. I'm seeking balance in myself, which is, I've had a long journey of that, starting out with very anti-establishment parents, becoming an Orthodox Jew, seeking out the establishment world, getting a college degree, and, working within the system. Oh, and then finding the extremes of that, only to understand why my parents chose what they chose. And so, having gone to extremes, then a person can attempt to find balance. And that's so much of what this album is about. Let me try and go through this song by song really fast because I've already been talking for 5 minutes. Okay, so Enantiodromia, I wrote about my reaction to Jill Sobiel's death. I was very impacted by it. She was my kind of people, in that she heavily influenced me as a songwriter and as a singer. One song that I highly recommend of hers is called Somewhere in New Mexico. She's meditating and thinking about the concept of faith. And it's also, to me, important to look at in the context of the time that she wrote that song and sang that song, and where she's very much a creature of the political left, and what that looked like at that time in that political reality. Then the second song is called Power Starfish. It has my sister Carmen saying her catchphrase, "Oh well." This is one of my favorite songs on the album. Aim for the middle and you won't fall down. The song is very much I think it's the last song I did for the album, and it's very much a distillation of the ideas of the album, which is why it's fair that it's named Power Starfish. Okay, track 3, Do What Makes You You, is pretty simple. Nobody cares what you do, so do what makes you happy. Self-explanatory. Also, a bit cope on my side. Okay, then there's song 4, Career Day, is a real rumination on the fact that my feeling of being heard as a songwriter has just dwindled away, and just this understanding that I'm getting so much better at what I do, and that's just not it's not I don't feel that it's appreciated. But I'm not going to blame AI, I'm not going to blame the algorithm, I'm not going to blame anything. I'm just sad about it. So then song 5, Revenge or Lack Thereof, is another study song. I'm studying Nietzsche, I believe. It's a good one. Recommend it. Song 6, Coworkers, was actually, I was thinking about the concept of main character syndrome, and so this song is sort of like from the perspective of non-main character in a world of main character syndrome. Then there's the song 7, Misery Loves Company, which is Misery Loves Company. It's definitely thinking about Plato's myth of the cave, but I think there's an acknowledgement that there's a kind of negativity that's very social, and that I don't connect with that anymore, although I used to. 8, Herd Morality. This one's Nietzsche, I think, also, and it's the most I don't know, it hurts. That one hurts because it has to do with the terrible dehumanization that's happening, which is okay. Song 9, Smug. Smug is a song that I crowdsourced a lot of the lyrics for, and it refers to a type of behavior that I'm seeing in people where they don't actually try to win an argument, but just engage in mockery and sort of like smug, haughty posture that like I'm right, and what I see behind that is I'm right. I'm part of a mob that's capable of violence, and like there's almost like a bloodthirstiness I see behind this smugness that like very dehumanizing. Okay, Heaven's Gatekeeping is song 10. And that song, Don't Tip My Sacred Cow, is just, it's about how, I don't know, sort of like the sunk cost theory, sunk cost fallacy, and, you know, what people will do to uphold their worldview. Number 11, Number One Fan, is an older song that I recorded in the studio with Craig Levy, and it was something that I wrote for a band that I loved called Fifth Nation, and then song 12, Patience, highly recommend you check out this track. It's just, to me, it's the great Kevin Sarovich on trombone, and was it trombone? Yeah, on trombone, and so I love what he added to it. It's beautiful. And song 13, Literally Anything, was the lullaby that I wrote for my son. He asked me to sing to him. I said, what should I sing? He said, literally anything. And then I sang this song. And then he said, I think you have to record that. And I wanted to add harmonies to it, but he said no. And so I didn't agree with him that I thought it sounded better with harmonies, but how can you write a song for your kid where you say you'll do literally anything, but you won't, you know, keep the song how they want it that you wrote for them. So anyway, I hope you check out the album, and I hope that, you know, that you're doing well, and say hi, and let me know what you think. All right, bye.